Welcome to Risor. It's a small coastal town between two dramatic fjords in southeast Norway. The town itself has a population of 4,000, with another 3,000 in the surrounding district. It is rich in history, culture and art, and it's only 3 hours from Oslo. As soon as you arrive, you'll see what's called the White Town by the Sea. All the houses round the U-shaped harbour are painted white. In the 19th century, white was the most expensive colour around, and only wealthy people could afford it. By the turn of the 20th century, white had become the fashion, and today it's the hallmark of the town. Risor is one of the best preserved 19th century towns of wooden houses in Europe. In the summer, the population is swelled by visitors who come to savour its rustic charm and enjoy the many festivals such as the Vilvin Art Festival, the Wooden Boat Festival, and the world-famous Risor Chamber Music Festival. The history of Risor starts in the middle of the 16th century when Dutch merchantmen bought timber from the local farmers. The trade grew and Risor grew with it. A town developed around the port and the inhabitants got into the shipping business themselves. The number of vessels fluctuated with general trading conditions and was highest at the end of the Napoleonic Wars. In 1865 there were 93 ships with a total of 962 crew members. At its peak, there were 52 ship and boat yards. The era of sailing ships is over. Only photographs, artifacts and models of ships remain. Some can be seen at the Risor Sailing Ship Club. This was founded in 1936 by the old sailors themselves. Other relics can be found at various points around the town. These include anchors which once belonged to proud ships, and muzzle-loading cannons. Some of the cannons were used on the high seas as defence against pirates. Others were used to protect the town, such as those at Castellet, a renowned 19th century fortification. A white area painted on the hill above the town is known as Risor Spot. It's a 17th century landmark visible from 12 nautical miles and still used by local fishermen and seafarers. In 1861, the centre of Risor was destroyed by fire. Only a few areas around the church and Tangen survived. If you take a stroll in these parts, you'll get an idea of what the town looked like in the 18th and early 19th centuries. People built their houses wherever they chose. The streets were sometimes wide, sometimes narrow, and sometimes they were just paths. Visit the beautiful Baroque church which was built in 1647. Admire its gilded wood carvings and interior, which is mainly from the 1800s. According to legend, a beautiful painting of the Last Supper was the work of one of Rubens' pupils. Following the disastrous fire, the centre was rebuilt. The streets were widened and new buildings were erected. Later the town developed along the main road and up adjacent hillsides, but the town centre has retained much of its original 19th century character. Around the harbour you'll find the impressive buildings once owned by ship owners and rich merchantmen. Most of them have been tastefully converted into shops, banks and restaurants. In Risor you will literally walk amongst history. Risor is a great place to spend a few days, wandering and soaking up the rustic charm and enjoying lazy romantic days by the water. There's so much to attract a visitor. You can enjoy a beer on the bright summer night, or take a free trip to the island. Have a meal in one of the small intimate restaurants, or visit one of the festivals, such as the Risor Wooden Boat Festival. Every year there are some remarkable ships and boats to look at. You can watch the master craftsmen as they demonstrate their work. One of the beauties of this small town is that everything is within walking distance, and you have the chance to meet craftsmen and your favourite musicians in the local restaurants. One tourist put it this way: when I first came to Risor, it was like stumbling upon a fabulous out-of-the-way restaurant that you're almost reluctant to tell people about for fear it will be overrun and lose its character. And remember, you are always welcome in our town.